great to have all of you here and glad to be part of the event. I want to thank Munir Cezuli and all the organizers for inviting me to this event. Let me start by quickly giving some info about me. So I have been in the technology sector for more than 20 years, so since 1993. I worked in Microsoft for 11 years in different marketing roles. And then I worked in Apple for 2 years as a marketing manager. Then I worked in Google for 7 years. And my last role in Google was, for the last 3 years, I was the regional marketing director for Turkey, Middle East, and Africa. So this region is dear to my heart. But after so many years in 3 big companies, I made the bold move to leave Google to work in a company that has a stronger brand for me, which is my own company, İçil Consulting, right? You can only leave these companies for your own company. So what I'm focusing is, I'm a business consultant, marketing consultant, and I'm working on keynotes, workshops, and consulting on the topics of marketing, technology, and innovation. And our topic today is measuring success in digital. When I think about Google, there were a couple of principles that the company is run by. And one of them was around data. We had a saying in Google which was, data is apolitical, means data is not political. And what that means is, if you don't have data in your hand, then all your decisions will be given by the most senior person on the room, or by emotional motivations. You can make smart decisions only if you have data in your hand. So this is what we will talk about. I mean, it's one of the most difficult topics in marketing. But with all the consulting work that I'm doing, this is the topic we focus most on, measuring success in digital. But before that, let me take you back in history a bit. Has any of you seen the first television ad in the world? Raise your hands. Anyone? No one? Let me show it to you. The first TV ad, it was broadcasted in 1941. Can we make sure there's audio?
America runs on Bolivar time.
That's it. Nice, right? What do you think about it? Looks good, huh? It's 1941. I mean, if you ask me, compared to like current television ads, I think that was one of the best advertisements. It's very clear, precise, short. It has a strong visual. It's a watch company, Bulova, and they just tell their tagline, America runs on Bulova time. It was broadcasted. The cost was $9, to create it and to broadcast it, $9. And how was the consumer like in those days? So let me show you a picture from a household. So this is, a family at their house, watching TV. There's only one screen that they are looking at. The good thing for the marketers is, when you advertise, you have the first TV ad, there's not much advertisement pollution. There are not many screens. There's one television. You sit in front of that television, and then everyone watches the same thing. I mean, I remember my childhood in Turkey. The TV programs were starting at 7 p.m., and they were ending at 12 p.m. It's like 5 hours every day, one channel. So when you advertise, you know that everyone will be seeing your ad. Wonderful. And not everyone had TVs at their houses. So in a way, you also knew how many people, might have seen it, your target audience, but still not that easy to measure, right? I mean, you're not able to measure that TV broadcast. And then, the technology evolves. We see the first mobile screen. No. Sorry about that. So we see the first mobile screen. This is, it's advertised as not laptop computer. It's not advertised as pocket computer. It's advertised as the tummy television. The tummy television. And they had 2 different sizes, and they were marketing it as, if you have a big belly, you buy the 6.5 inch version. If you have a smaller belly, you get the 5.5-inch version. Still, there's, one screen you are broadcasting through. Now, let's go back to today. This is the household we have now. Now, you are sitting there, you have 4 different screens, you have your TV, which is smart TV connected to the internet, you have your tablet, you have your laptop, you have your mobile computer, and all of these devices are communicating with each other. And we are using all of these screens at the same time. It's not only these 4 screens. We have other screens in our lives too, like, the smartwatches now. We have screens on, household appliances. We have smart cars, all this stuff. So there are so many screens. There's so much communication going on around. There's so much information flow. So in the past, the problem was, we didn't have any data, but at least we knew, like, our message was going through which channels. Now it's a big chaos. It's a big confusion. If you look at the new generation, we have different terms for the generations. We are saying Generation X, Generation Y, Generation Z, but I prefer the term Generation C, which covers all ages. And Generation C stands for connected. This generation is connected to information, C. They create content, C. They curate content, C. So this is Generation C, right? And this Generation C is living with technology. They socialize with technology. Now, some people might argue, like, is this socialization? Maybe yes, maybe no. But if you think about it from this perspective, it's not only these 4 friends that are sitting in there. It's 4 of them plus all of their friends that they are connected to through social media. So probably they were chatting 5 minutes ago, but then they took a photo, a selfie. Now they are sharing it with their friends over the internet. So it's a socialization at a different form. And we live 24 hours, 7 by 24 with this technology, right? Check this. Do you recognize this photo from your life? Like, who is looking at their phone the last thing before going to sleep? Yeah? You can raise your hands. What about the first thing in the morning? No? Half of the audience. And the rest of the audience don't want to, tell. So this is how we are living. We are with our phones, with our technologies, and so on. This audience is not only consuming content, they are also creating content. Here's a photo of a guy. Do you know who this person is? Neil Armstrong, yeah? Back in time, this guy went to the moon. They spent a lot of money, a lot of energy. He goes to the moon and comes back with only how much, like 10, 12 photos? You go to the moon. Won't you take a selfie at least? Only 12 photos? And look at this girl. Now she goes to the toilet and takes 20 plus selfies. Which content is more important? To discuss. But you can see, like, we are creating a lot of content. From my childhood, I remember, like, at every age, I have almost, like, 1 photo. It's from my birthday, the same place, same location, same photo every year. But now, with the new kids in town, it's like you have videos, all those photos and everything, like 10s or 20s of, like, photos every day. A lot of content is being created. So we come to this big, good thing, but a big problem, which is big data. There's so much data around. So the question mark is, now, how do we find the ones that are right for us? And how do we read that data? And how do we translate data? If you look at marketeers, there are 3 types of marketeers that I will show you, that in terms of how they use data. There is this first type of marketeer. This type of marketeer does what we call post and pray. It's kind of, they advertise and then, oh God, I hope it works. Oh God, I hope it works. If it doesn't work, they just run the second campaign and make everyone forget about the first one, right? Or if it works, it's like, we knew that it would work. This is the first type. This is the type of marketeer that doesn't use data. There's the second type of marketeer. They use too much data. I was working with a social media agency back in Turkey, and every month they were giving 120 pages of social media report. From one side you might say, oh, great, they are looking into data. But then Doesn't matter. I mean, just show me 2 pages that matters for me. So if you try to eat everything, if you try to dive into all of that data, you'll get lost, you know? That's not the right way. There's a saying by Einstein. He's saying not everything that counts can be counted, and not everything that can be counted counts. You know, it explains everything. Still, there's a lot of data, but some data is not easy to find. And all those data out there, not all of them matters. There's a third type of marketeer, which is smart with data. And I'll show that type of marketeer with a video to you.
Hey guys, just thought you might want to know, sales aren't up, they're down. Yes, sir.
So this is the third one. You know, they're smart with data, but they don't look at it from the right perspective, or they prefer not. I mean, if you want to show that a marketing campaign is successful, you can always find one data point that goes up. You know, you'll find it, but does it matter? That's the question mark. So let's leave these aside, and let's get back to the difficult question about, so how do we do it? I mean, there should be a fourth way, right? I'll show you another video, a viral video. Just watch it carefully, and on top of that, we'll start talking about how do you measure success. You might have seen this one. So this is a viral video that was shooted by Pepsi Max. This is Jeff Gordon, a professional driver, but he has some makeup and so on, you know, mustache and so on. So the salesperson doesn't know that he is Jeff Gordon, a professional driver, and he just thinks that they are going on for a like innocent test drive of a car. And he has a Pepsi Max bottle, can in his hand, and there's a secret camera inside it. Let's watch what happens.
Oh, yeah, what a car. Well, we better buckle up.
Yeah, good call. Power door locks, standard, of course. You are liable for any damages to the vehicle, so please stop the car, or at least slow down. Slow down. Slow down. You can't go through that gate, Mike. Stop! Stop! I'm gonna get you.
Watch it! Watch out!
You're gonna wreck this car, and you're liable for it if you wreck it. Mike, stop the car! Stop the car right now!
Shut up here! Yeah. No, oh my God. Oh, God. Take us back. Just take us back. Oh, no.
You all right over there, Steve?
Oh, you're an idiot. I'm gonna kill you. Oh, stop. Oh, God almighty. Oh, God damn.
Woo! Yeah!
Who the f*** do you think you are?
What do you mean?
I'm calling the cops.
No, you don't understand. It's not what you think. It's not what you think. No, it's just a prank. We're just having fun. Look, this is a camera. Here's a camera. There's cameras. Look, it was all just fun. Look, I'm Jeff Gordon. Sorry, man. Sorry.
Wanna do it again?
Yeah, let's do it again.
Nice one, right? Funny. And it goes viral. You know, hundreds of thousands of people are watching, millions of people are watching. Now here is the question. Was this viral campaign successful in your opinion? So let me see a raise of hands. Who are saying that it was successful? A few. Who are saying that it was not successful? A bit more. Who are saying that, how the heck should I know? That's the right answer, right? How the heck you should know? You don't have any data. So that's the kind of the thing. You know, it's with all these viral campaigns, you know, when I was telling, if there's no data, you decide emotionally. This is what we do. We see a video, and then it's wonderful. We want to do the same thing. You know, it's lovely. And like there are a lot of people in companies that comes by this. You know, this is great. I want one for our company too. Let's do a viral video. And like with companies that I give digital consultancy to, you know, I go there, I start talking about strategy, you know, growth hacking, content, you know, advertisement strategy. They're like, no. Let's do a great viral campaign. You know, let's spend $10 and it goes viral to 1 million people. You know, the problem here is before deciding that a campaign is successful or not, we need two things. The first thing is we have to know what our target is, the actual target is. The second thing is what are the metrics that we will use to decide that that campaign was successful. And if you look at the targets, there are so many different targets, but I will group them in under like 4 main parts. First one, you might be targeting for reach. So when we talk about reach, we are talking about visibility. We are talking about awareness. Just considering the video that I just showed you, if our target was reach, what kind of metrics would you be checking? Any guesses? Number of views on YouTube, right? You can check number of views. What else? Not number of shares. Before going that, it's number of views. Number of unique people who has viewed the video. Or you can just dive into looking at, you know, the demographics, the geographic distribution, some of the demographics. But here the important thing for us is how many people have seen it. It's not only the video. If you just, you know, expand it, you can also talk about blogs, you know, people who has written about it on blogs, people who talk about it. It doesn't have to be the video itself, but people talking about it is also some of the views. So when we talk about reach, we look at these metrics. The second level is, after reach, engagement. So if our target is engagement, we are not looking for awareness. We are actually looking into brand identity, brand love. So do we create awareness? What do people think about the brand? What kind of metrics do we use at this point for that video? Likes, shares, comments, right? So it goes to a different level. Just out of these metrics, there is one I'm not that sure about, which is likes, because we are in a world everyone is liking everything. So based on the advertisement, sometimes you can put likes in, you know, in reach or in engagement. But in engagement, we are looking for people who are actually reacting to the video, right? This defines brand identity. And this is the part we also do sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis, which is, okay, they comment about it, but do they like it? Are they positive about it? Are they negative about it? They reshare it, retweet it, but for a positive reason or for a negative reason. So that's the sentiment analysis. Then we move on to the third part, which is interest. Are they interested? This is the part where we are talking about generating leads, right? For FMCG companies, generating a lead might be just going to the shop, thinking about purchasing the product. For some B2B companies, it's someone calling you for a meeting. For some online companies, it can be someone subscribing to the newsletter, someone asking for a trial of a product. It's different for different businesses, but this is the part where you find the lead. And the last one is convert. You know, this is the part we love. This is when the sales happen, money comes, right? This is the conversion part. Again, back to the viral video that we just see. How can you measure conversion on that video? Sales. Not that easy, right? Any ideas? So here's the thing. This is one of the situations where, you know, remember the Einstein quote. It's like not every data can be obtainable. So you cannot find the exact sales, but what you can do is, here's an idea. You know where those videos are seen the most. Check the views, check the geographies. You know where they are seen most. If there are any countries where they haven't seen that, they haven't marketed that video, take them out. If there are any countries that has been running some parallel marketing activities, heavy marketing activities, take them out. Look at the rest of the countries, and then you can share the sales of Pepsi Max in that term and see how much kind of leverage that they have created, right? I mean, you can combine a couple of metrics and reach to your results. If we look at these four in a summary, we have our reach, we have our engagement, we have our interest, we have our conversion, and it doesn't end there. We look at these metrics, and then we go back. There is the analysis part and the optimization part. And these are like a funnel built on each other. So if your target is reach, it's purely reach. If your target is engage, then you look at reach and engage, because it's a funnel. Number of people who you have reached impacts engage. If your target is interest, then you have to look at reach, engage, interest, and so on. Let me give you an example. An e-commerce website. Right? I mean, if you talk to many e-commerce companies, you know, the kind of metrics that they are looking at, there are two. One is, how many people came to my site? And the second is, how much product that I sold. They don't look at all the data in between in the sales funnel. Let's check how we can look at that data. So we'll look at the first number. How many visitors are coming to our website, our e-commerce website? And then we see that there is not enough traffic. What do? Wait. You look at your campaign, right? You look at your marketing campaign, you look at your organic traffic, you check if you are doing the right growth hacking approaches and so on, but you focus on what is driving that traffic and think about how I can increase that traffic, you know, by optimizing my marketing campaigns. Let's say there are enough visitors that are coming to the e-commerce website, but they are coming in and they're bouncing back. They are leaving right away, so they are not browsing the website. Then what do I look at? Sorry? Content, right? Then I think about content. Is there right content? But even before that, even before content, I can think about, am I calling the right people to my website, right? Am I targeting the right people? Because if they are coming into the website, not looking at it, bouncing back right away, then I might be driving in wrong people to the website. Then I look at my targeting in my campaign. If the targeting is right, they come to my website, they go through several pages, but they don't spend time on the website. I mean, they check 3 pages, but they don't, you know, spend a lot of time in one of them. Then I think about the second thing, content. So do I have content that's driving the attention? Let's say the next step, they come to my website, they check a couple of pages, and they are interested in some of the stuff. I mean, they go to some of the pages and they spend, let's say, 2 minutes on it, 3 minutes on it, but they are not adding any product to the cart. Then what do I look at? Price, even before price. The model, it's user experience might be one thing. It might be affecting. User experience might be one of the reasons. What do they want? It's like understanding their need and giving the right message. We can also say it's motivation, right? Do we have the right call to action? Do we know what they really need? Are we really motivating them? Let's say we are creating the motivation. Now they are coming, checking, they are adding the product to the cart, but they are not completing the purchase. They are just adding it to their cart. They are not purchasing it. What might be the problem? Price, you know. They are probably adding it to their cart, and then they're just leaving it there, checking it somewhere else, and purchasing it somewhere else. They are interested in the product. So we can check about the competition, we can check out our price. Let's say they add it to the cart, they started the purchase process. You know, they click, we do it sometimes too. We write our address and everything. At the last moment, we don't complete the purchase. We don't pay for it. What might be the reason? The process, right? It's the purchase flow. It might be the process. It might be probably they want to pay with PayPal, but it's not there, the payment terms and so on. So this is how you measure e-commerce success. And this also matters for all kinds of businesses. It's not a starting point and an end point only, but it's the whole process that you have to look into. There's another question people ask me. When I show this kind of information, they say to me, okay, how many visitors should I have? What's the percentage of, what's the ROI that I should be reaching and so on. Then I show them this picture. Is he tall or short? What's the answer? He's tall, right? He or she is very tall. What about now? No? There's a taller one, so that's not that tall actually. But if you look at the third one, yeah, actually, he is tall. So it's the same thing with marketing. Everything is comparative. So when we are looking at the metrics, there are two things that we should be looking at. One is how the competition is doing. But the second is how we have been doing in the past. So the trends of improvement. So are we going towards the better numbers or are we going down? So it's the trends. Talking about trends, here are a few other examples. Another viral activity. Do you know which brand was behind this? Samsung, right? Samsung ran this campaign. Was it successful or not? How the heck should I know? No, just make a guess. Was it successful or not? It was. It was kind of successful. For what? Was it successful for Samsung? Huh? It's celebrities. It was good for the celebrities. Plus, this activity added a word to our, digital vocabulary, which was selfie. So it really helped the concept of selfie to grow. Did it grow the sales of Samsung? I don't know, but it didn't have the direct impact. But I can check. Have you been using Google Trends? Google Trends showing the trends of the, search for different keywords, and it gives a lot of information to us. If you check for the word selfie in year 2014, you can see the big jump right after that photo. So it was great for selfie. Now, what did happen for the awareness of Samsung? In 2014, just look for the keyword Samsung. It didn't change, it even went down. So just one data that you can look at. Check the trends. Were people searching for Samsung more? No. So the activity didn't actually help the Samsung brand. I don't know about the sales. Here's another example. Do you remember this one? Ice bucket challenge to drive some attention around the ALS disease, right? Was it successful or not? Yes. Why? They have money. It spread all over the world. The idea was awareness. So many people started talking about it. If we are talking about different viral campaigns, this one everyone knows about. So it spread virally. That's good. In terms of money raised, initially they weren't happy about it, but then they said, good amount of money was raised. That's successful. But let me show you another metric. Again, Google Trends. The search for the word ALS across the globe. So this is what happens. You have the viral campaign. It jumps up. Right after it, it goes down. So was it successful? Yes, it created awareness during that time, but did it stay? So this is another thing to measure. It's like you can create a peak, but if your target is awareness, the question mark is it staying there? Are you building that loyalty to that brand? So this is another perspective to look at it. So if you want to make something interesting, do a viral video, it's easy. You just put the picture of this little kitten, it will work. I can guarantee you it will work. Will it help your brand on the long term? Again, something to think about. So it's many perspectives in terms of measurement. Back to Google Trends. You can make business decisions looking at this tool. Here's an example. This is a search for the word hediye, which means present, which means gift in Turkish. And in Turkey, if you look for the search of the word gift, this is from year 2004 to year 2015. And you see the same trend every year. which day do you think is the largest peak? Valentine's. So in Turkey, people buy presents more during Valentine's Day. The one that's close to it on the left is December 1st, it's New Year's. If you go to the right, let me show it to you, there are like small bumps in between, like 50%. Mother's Day. And try to find Father's Day there. You won't be able to find it. I mean, it's like the people just buy ties or T-shirts and that's over. But by looking at this, if there is a company that's selling gifts, they know when to advertise. They know when to advertise what. You can just dive into it like Valentine's Day. People start searching for gift a week before, and then like 2 or 3 days after Valentine's Day, they still keep searching desperately. So you keep on advertising for the next 2-3 days, right? So this is an idea. So this gift company looks at this, says, I'm advertising this way in Turkey, it works. They go to US, open a shop, they try to spend their marketing advertisement dollars in the same way, it doesn't work. Look at the same thing. Search for the word gift. This is US. There is one big jump every year, which is Christmas. So it's a complete different thing. So just by looking at this data, you can figure out where do I spend my marketing dollars, right? I mean, I have an example of Remax, the real estate company. At one point, they were looking at the searches for the keywords real estate to decide where they open their next office, in which countries. So this is important data. Then comes the tools, right? There are so many tools that we can use. I won't get into the details of each of them, but I will just group them. We have web analytics tools. Lovely. I mean, there are so many companies I go to, I ask, do you use analytics tools to look at your website? And some say, I don't know. And like when I ask questions like, do you know like the average time people spend on your website? I just did a poll on that on Twitter. Some people say, are we able to measure that data? Because the problem is, there's the IT team that's installing Google Analytics or other products over there, and there's the marketing team, and they don't talk to each other, right? There is major data that you can use there. Again, going back to the e-commerce data, it's not only traffic. Just look at the screen sizes, like different phone screen sizes and their conversion rates. Just by looking at it, you can figure out on which screen sizes your e-commerce website is not performing well. You might do some design updates on that website. So there's so much data that you can look at. There's the SEO analytics. People are coming to your website, good traffic, glad. But you have to also dive in and check, which keywords are driving the traffic, which keywords are actually creating the sales. There's so much information that you can drive from that. Then you have your social metrics. For some companies, social metrics is just around likes and shares. But it's even more than that. Like, when are they liking? When are they sharing? Who are the influencers in your network? Like, are you ever checking, like, out of your shares, look at the posts with largest number of shares. Are you checking like who are sharing that? Who are helping you spread that information? Who are your social influencers in your network? So this is, there's a big world behind that social metrics. Ad metrics, again, advertisements. Dive into like search engine marketing tools. You have more data than you need to figure out if your ads are optimized or not. And sales metrics, of course, CRM data, sales data, again, demographic information, and so on. The biggest challenge here is, it's something that many companies are trying to resolve, is what we call social CRM. It's combining the digital metrics with actual CRM metrics. So wouldn't it be good, like, if someone is liking a post that I have shared, if I was able to connect that with the CRM information, saying, the people who have retweeted my tweet, have they purchased my product before? When? How much? And so on. So combining all those offline and online metrics together. So this is the biggest challenge that companies are trying to solve these days, social CRM. So to summarize all of these things that I talked about, there are a few things that companies should be asking themselves. One, are we clear about our target? Do we know what we want to achieve with this marketing campaign? The second thing is, are we looking at the right metrics out of that big data? Are we looking at the right metrics? The third thing is, are we using the right tools to reach those metrics? And the fourth one is, are we reading the results correctly? Are we translating them in the right way? Sometimes an increase is not a good thing. Sometimes it's a bad thing. Like, are we reading them well? And out of all that data, the most important thing, are we able to act on them? I mean, if there is no action that you can take on those data, then don't even bother trying to measure them. But you have to have the actions set for each metrics, right? If you have data in your hand, then you know how to get to the thing that you are trying to find. If you have data, you know how much you should pursue a marketing campaign. You know when to stop. If you don't have data, then you might stop too early, or you might be digging the wrong hole in the wrong direction. Right? Thank you.